Hey everybody, it's time for another Sweet 16 matchup. This time it's the 1941 New York Yankees, who thoroughly defeated the 1991 Minnesota Twins in the first round. And they'll be taking on the 1973 Oakland A's, who squeaked by the 2001 Arizona Diamondbacks. Oakland is the designated home team, although we are playing on neutral field, so there's no ballpark effects. And let's meet our starting pitchers. Vida Blue for the A's, his 1973 season consisted of being 20-9 with a 3.28 ERA. And he'll be opposed by right-hander Spud Chandler for the Yankees. And Chandler was 10-4 with an ERA of 3.18. So sit back and relax and get ready for May Madness Sweet 16 action between the 1941 Yankees and the 1973 Oakland A's. We'll be right back with the starting lineups in just a moment. Okay, let's meet the starting lineups for the 1941 New York Yankees. Leading off, playing shortstop is the Scooter, Phil Rizzuto. Batting second is third baseman Red Rolfe. Batting third is right fielder Tommy Henrich. Batting cleanup is Joltin' Joe DiMaggio in center field. Hitting fifth is the left fielder Charlie Keller. Batting sixth is second baseman Joe Gordon. Hitting seventh and catching is Bill Dickey. Batting eighth, the designated hitter Buddy Rozar. And batting ninth at first base is Johnny Sturm. And on the mound, as mentioned, is Spud Chandler. So we are ready to go. Vida Blue has finished his warm-up tosses. Phil Rizzuto has stepped in the box. And we're ready to get this Sweet 16 game underway. Yankees and A's. And here's the first delivery. It is a 2-7. So we're under Rizzuto versus a lefty. 2 and a 7 is a single to center field. So Phil Rizzuto starts out with a base hit, single to center field, to get the festivities going. A leadoff single for Phil Rizzuto. Okay, so Phil Rizzuto starts off things with a base hit. He is a B stealer, but with the heavy bats coming up, they're not going to want to run themselves out of an inning when you got the likes of Henrich and DiMaggio coming up. So Rizzuto's going to stay right there, although he's a good base runner, going from first to third and so forth. Here's Red Rolfe, third baseman. He'll be trying to advance Rizzuto. Lefty on lefty matchup with Vida Blue. It's a 4-5. So Vida Blue, 4-5, is a fly ball to left field. So he flies out to Joe Rudi in left field for out number one. And that'll bring up Tommy Henrich, the right fielder. Another lefty on lefty matchup for Henrich. Pitch from Blue, it's a 5-7. So Blue, a 5-7 versus a lefty, is a line out to the shortstop. So he lines out to Campaneris for out number two. And that'll bring up Joltin' Joe DiMaggio with a chance to bring home Rizzuto. Here is the pitch to DiMaggio. It's a 1-7. So 1-7 against a left-hander is a double to left field. Now there are no stars, so therefore Rizzuto will have a chance to try to score. We have to check some reductions and see what happens here. But right now, the fact there's not a star there means he has the option of trying to score, and I think they're going to probably send him. Rizzuto was being held. He's a 16, but when you're being held, you subtract 1 and make it a 15. And then we have to look at Joe Rudi's arm. Joe Rudi is a 0 arm. So we're looking at a 1 to 15 chance of scoring from first base on this double by DiMaggio. It's a 1 to 15 chance they're going to take it. So here is the play. Rizzuto rounding third, the throw by Rudi to the plate, to tennis, the tag, and Rizzuto is safe. It's a 4, so he is safe. Rizzuto comes all the way around to score on the double by Joe DiMaggio. It's 1-0 Yankees. The Yankee Clipper brings in the run, and it's 1-0 Yankees. Here's Charlie Keller. It's a 4-10 off of Vida Blue, lefty on lefty matchup 4-10's a ground ball to first base B, so it's a ground ball to the first baseman Darren Johnson. He takes it to the bag himself, and the inning's over. But thanks to the double by DiMaggio, we played half an inning. Score is Yankees 1 and Oakland coming to bat. And let's meet the starting lineup for the Oakland A's. It'll be leading off in center field, Bill North. Batting second at shortstop is Bert Campaneris. Batting third is left fielder Joe Rudi. Hitting cleanup is right fielder Reggie Jackson. Batting fifth is the captain Sal Bando. Batting sixth and doing the designated hitting is Jesus Alou. Batting seventh and catching is Gene Tennis. Batting eighth at first base is Darren Johnson. And batting ninth at second base is Dick Green with Vida Blue on the mound. So we have a green-blue going right here. And I forgot to write in Chandler on the score sheet, so let me do that right now. And I also forgot to put Tennis's defensive ratings on the score sheet as a catcher, so let me do that right now. He is a 4 catcher with error rating of 2. His arm rating is a 0, and he runs an 11. Okay, so now we're all set. Now everything's figured out. So Bill North stepping to the plate against Spud Chandler. North, a switch hitter, batting left-handed against the right-handed throwing Chandler. And the first pitch is a 1-7 for Bill North against a right-hander. 1-7 is a ground ball to short. Look at all those hits. He had loads of hits, but he found a ground ball to short. So ground ball to Rizzuto, and that's going to be a quick first out. 1 down for Bert Campaneris. Campaneris steps up. It is a 3-5, so we're under Campaneris against a righty. 3-5 is a split chance. 1-16 for a single. Anything else is a ground ball to Sturm at first. So Campaneris trying to Q1 by Sturm if he can. He needs a 1-16 to do it. And he does it with a 3. So it's a base hit for Campaneris. A 1-out single. And Campaneris is an A-rated stealer. So you could think about maybe trying to steal here. As an A-rated stealer, he starts out with a 15. He loses 2 points for being held to a 13. And then Bill Dickey brings him down to a 9 with that -4 rating. So do they want to try it 1-9 with Joe Rudi and Reggie Jackson coming up? I think they're going to hold him there. So Rudi steps to the plate. It's a 1-7. 1-7 against a right-hander. And that is a strikeout. So it's a strikeout for Joe Rudi. That makes it 2 away. And that'll bring up Reggie Jackson. So Rudi with the strikeout brings up Reggie Jackson. And now with 2 outs, they are going to take a chance with Campaneris running. So as we said, he needs a 1-9 to be safe. Anything else, he will be thrown out by Bill Dickey. It's a 20. He is gunned down. It's not even close. Caught stealing 2-6. The peg to Rizzuto with plenty of time. And maybe Dick Williams is second-guessing himself there. But that ends the inning. Nothing doing for the A's. At the end of 1, it's the Yankees 1 and the A's nothing. And that'll bring up Joe Gordon to start things off. Joe Gordon. It's a 4-5 under Vida Blue against a right-hander. 4-5 is a ground ball to short. So ground ball to Campaneris. He hums it over to Darren Johnson with a little extra mustard on it because he's ticked about being caught stealing. There's 1 away. And that'll bring up Bill Dickey. Dickey, it's a 5-6. Lefty on lefty matchup against Vida Blue. A 5 and a 6 is a strikeout. Strikeout for Vida Blue. Quickly 2 away, and that brings up the designated hitter, Buddy Rozar. He is actually the backup catcher, but he was on the year a 287 hitter, right-handed hitter, against the left-handed hitting or left-handed pitching Blue, and he does have a pretty good column 1 here. A little bit in column 2, but especially column 1, he's loaded. So we'll see if he can do anything against Vida Blue. It's a 3-5, so he's under his own card, but he found the wrong column. He's in column 3 against a lefty, and a number 5 is a ground ball pitcher. Ground ball back to the pitcher. So Vida Blue We'll throw him out. 1-3 on the putout. And 3 up, 3 down for the Yankees here in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Score still Yankees 1 and the A's nothing. And Reggie Jackson will step up to the plate. He was at the plate when Campaneris was caught stealing. So he's going to try it out here to lead off against Spud Chandler. It's a 5-9 for Chandler against a lefty. 5-9. Chance for a home run, but not a good one. It's only 1-3. Anything else is a fly ball to right fielder Henrik. So Jackson gets into one, drives one to deep right field. Going back is Henrik, and Henrik makes the play, a 5. So Henrik makes the play, and there's one away. So Reggie, just a warning track power fly ball there. There's one away, and Sal Bando steps to the plate. Bando, a 6-7 against Chandler, against a right-hander. 6-7 is a ground ball, second base X, and that will mean Joe Gordon. And Joe Gordon, as a second baseman, is a number 1, so he's the best-rated second baseman you can be. Here is the roll. It's a 19, and the second baseman, number 1, 19 is a ground ball A, so 2 down. And that will bring up designated hitter Jesus Alou. 2 outs, base is empty. Alou. It's a 1-5 against a right-hander. 1-5 is a single for Alou, so he gets a 2-out single. Keeps the inning going for Gene Tennis. Catcher Gene Tennis steps to the plate. It's a 1-9 for Tennis. And a 1-9 is a possible base hit. 1-14 is a single, and 15-20 he lines out to Gordon at second. So Tennis lines one towards second. Gordon trying to reach out for it. He won't get it. It's a 3, so that's a base hit. Base hit for Tennis. Snuck it by Gordon. But it's only 1 star, so Alou will have to hold at second base. So runners at first and second with 2 outs for first baseman Darren Johnson. So 2-out rally here by the A's. Johnson trying to continue this. It's a 1-10 against a right-hander. And a 1-10 is a single to center field. And there's no stars, so there's a chance that they could try to score Alou. But we'll see. Alou is not being held on because he's on second base. So let's check the figures here. Alou starts out with an 11 running rating. And he hit it to second base, which is unfortunate for him because DiMaggio's a -4. So base hit to center field rather, with a man on second. Run rating 11, it's a -4, it takes him down to a 7. And I think they're going to try it because Dick Green's on deck and he's not a very good hitter. So they're going to try to see if they can sneak Alou in here on this base hit. He needs a 1-7 to be safe. He didn't get it. He got a 20. He's out at the plate. A rocket from Joe DiMaggio to Bill Dickey, and he is out of there. So the rally is finished, and that's the second runner that's been caught on the base paths for the A's in this game, trying to be too aggressive. And at the end of 2 complete, score still Yankees 1, A's nothing. All right, we go to the top of the third, and first baseman Johnny Sturm, the batter. Sturm is a 1-5, so he's off his own card against a lefty Vita Blue. 1-5 against a lefty is a split chance. 1-6 for a double, 7-20 for a single. So Sturm will reach, just a matter of how far he gets. It's a 13, and a 13, as we said before, a 13 is a base hit single. So it's a base hit for Johnny Sturm to lead off the third. And that goes right back to Phil Rizzuto. And Rizzuto is an A bunter, so he's in a perfect sacrifice situation for him right now as an A bunter. So he will set up to bunt. Oakland will have the corners in, so his bunt rating will be reduced to a B. And we're going to go off the advanced chart, sacrifice, column B, and roll 2 D6s and see what happens. Roll is a 10. It's column B, a 10. Batter is safe. Lead runner is thrown out by the pitcher. So not a good bunt that time by Rizzuto. He bunted it too hard. Blue fielded it through to Campaneris covering to get Sturm. So that is a 1-6 put out on a fielder's choice bunt. So now Rizzuto takes over at first base. Better speed, but now there's one out. And we're at Red Rolf. Red Rolf. It is a 3-4 for Rolf against lefty Blue, lefty on lefty. 3-4 is a ground ball to shortstop B. So that's a fielder's choice, as they will retire Rizzuto 6-4 for the second out, and a fielder's choice as Rolf reaches. That brings up Tommy Henrich with 2 outs and a runner at first. It's a 5-8, so Rolf blew this time against the lefty Henrich. 5-8, well, that's not very good news. 1-12 is a potential triple, or it is a triple, not a potential triple, it is a triple. 13-20 is a single star. So let's see what happens here. A 1-12, and we got a 2-0 ball game. It's a 16, so that means it's a single star. So Henrich with a base hit, and Rolf will motor over to third base, putting runners at the corners with 2 outs. And now you got DiMaggio. So DiMaggio with runners in scoring position. Not a pleasant sight if you're a pitcher. Just ask Jack Morris. So Vida Blue has to bear down here. Runners at the corners and 2 outs for Joe DiMaggio. He doubled his first time up. It's a 5-5. So Vida Blue, 5-5 against a right-hander. He gets the strikeout. Vida Blue reaching back for a little extra. Put the K on Joltin' Joe. He jolted Joe with that K. So the inning's over. We go to the bottom of the third. Score still Yankees 1, Oakland nothing. And the number 9 hitter, Dick Green, steps to the plate. Marginal hitter at best. Here's the pitch. It's a 1-12. And a 1-12 is a fly ball to center field. So he flies out to DiMaggio for out number 1. And we're back to the top of the order. And Bill North. Switch hitter, batting left against Spud Chandler. It's a 3-6. 3-6, so we're off the North. 3-6 is a strikeout. So Chandler put the K on Bill North for out number 2. And that brings up Campaneris. Campaneris walked and was caught stealing his first time up. It's a 6-4 for Chandler against a right-hander. 6-4 is a ground ball to short with an X. So that is Rizzuto. Rizzuto is a 2 on his defense. So we're going to roll the D20 and check the defensive rating. It's a 17. So a shortstop with a 2 rated 17 is a ground ball A to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down. We've completed 3 innings here at neutral field. Score remains Yankees 1, A's nothing. And Charlie Keller will lead things off against Vida Blue. Keller grounded to first base his first time up. The delivery is a 4-4. So off Vida Blue off a lefty. 4-4 is a fly ball center field X. The center fielder Bill North is a number 2 rated center fielder. So we'll roll the D20 and check his prowess. It's a 1. That's not a good sign, those low numbers. So a center fielder who is a number 2 rated center fielder, a number 1 on the split chance, it's a double. So that's a double for Charlie Keller to lead off the top of the 4th. So Keller placed it just where Bill North couldn't quite get to it. Now that brings up Joe Gordon. Gordon, a 6-6 off of Vida Blue versus a right-hander. 6-6 is a fly ball right field B. Fly ball right field B. So there's 1 away. And with Reggie Jackson's -5 arm, they're not even going to think about trying to go to third on that. Despite, and also the fact that Keller only doesn't run that. He's a 1-15. He's all right. He's not great. But that would be a 1-10, so it'll be a 50-50 shot. Don't want to take the chance. Not with Bill Dickey coming up. So here's Bill Dickey. It's a 6-9. 6-9, and I don't even think in the advanced game, now that I think about it, that you have the option to advance like that. I think it's only super advanced. So anyway, 6-9 is Vida Blue against Bill Dickey, lefty. 6-9 is a pop out to second base. So he pops it up to Dick Green for out number 2. And Vida Blue is one batter away from pitching out of this leadoff double. So here's Buddy Rosar. Rosar grounded back to Vida Blue his first time up. Rosar, it is a 3-9 against a lefty. 3-9 is a ground ball to third, so he grounds to Bando, and the inning is over. So Vida Blue manages to pitch around that leadoff double. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Score still remains Yankees 1 and Oakland nothing. And Joe Rudy, Tutti Frutti Rudy, is leading off for the A's. It's a 1-11 against a right-hander. 1-11 is a ground ball to first, so it's a ground ball to Johnny Sturm. He makes the play, and there's one away. Very quickly, one away. And Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, even though it's May. It's a 4-6 against a lefty. So we check Spud Chandler for column 6 is a strikeout. Column 4, row 6 is a strikeout against the lefty. So Reggie, as he is sometimes apt to do, he whiffs. And with 2 outs and the base is empty, that brings up the captain, Sal Bando. Righty on righty matchup against Spud Chandler. It's a 4-3. So Spud Chandler, 4-3, is a ground ball to third base, X. So Red Rolfe is the third baseman, and he's a number 2 rated third baseman. So we'll roll the D20 and check his defensive prowess. It's a 19, and a third baseman, number 19, no matter what his rating is an out. So that's going to take care of Bando. 1 third baseman grounding to another. And we've completed 4 innings here at neutral field. Score still remains Yankees 1 and Oakland nothing. Top of the 5th, and Johnny Sturm, number 9 hitter. He singled his first time up. He will come up against Vida Blue. Lefty on lefty matchup, 1-9. 1-9 for Sturm is a probable another single. He's got a chance for a triple with the number 1, but most likely it'll be a single. So anything other than a number 1 on the D20 will give him a single. It's a 3, so it's a single. Base hit number 2 on the game for Sturm. He's 2 for 2. And now Rizzuto is going to try this again. He tried to sacrifice his first time and failed. But if you first don't succeed, you try again. And he's going to be up there to bunt. He's an A bunter. As we see here, he's an A bunter. So it means he's a B bunter because Oakland's looking for it. Sorry, Oakland's expecting it. The corners are in, so he's reduced down to a B. And it's a 12 this time. First time was a 10, this time's a 12. So we go to B, number 12. Batter pops up into double play, lead runner out. So from bad to worse for Phil Rizzuto, he pops up the bunt. Pops out to the catcher, it says on that result. So what happens here is Rizzuto pops up to Gene Tennis for out number 1. And then Tennis throws 2-3 for a double play and the second out to double up Sturm. So Rizzuto may want to go back to bunting practice here, or actually he's just getting a bad break on some of these die rolls. But either way, he has failed twice in that event. Here's Red Rolfe. So 5-4. Rolfe is a lefty. 5-4, Vida Blue is a catcher X. So we're looking at Gene Tennis, who is a 4 rated catcher. So not that good. So we'll see what he does with that. That's a number 3. A number 3. So we go to the catcher advanced chart. Catcher advanced chart, a number 4 rated catcher. Number 3 result is a foul out. So he handled that one pretty good. There was nobody on base to make a wild pitch for, so it didn't matter anyway. But in this case, he handles a foul out to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Nothing's changed. It's the 41 Yankees 1 and the 73 A's nothing. Jesus Alou singled and was thrown out trying to score from center by center fielder Joe DiMaggio. He tried to score from second on a base hit, and he was rifled down by a tremendous throw by DiMaggio. So he'll try to get something going here in the 5th. It's a 6-7 against Chandler. 6-7 is a ground ball to second, and that's going to be to Joe Gordon. Joe Gordon is a number 1 rated second baseman. The D20 roll is an 8, which may put him in the error check. Look at this real quick. It does. Second baseman number 8 puts him in the error check. So Joe Gordon's error rating is a 39. So that's pretty high. He's got a good chance to make an error here. Basically, he has to roll an 11 or else it's an error. So that kind of narrows it down, doesn't it? If he doesn't roll an 11 on the D20, then it's an error. So I'm sorry, on the 2D6s. He has to roll an 11 on the 2D6s or it is an error. It's a 4, so that is an error. An error on Joe Gordon, 1 base error. E4 on Gordon. So we'll see if that comes back to fight the Yankees. As Alou is aboard, and now Gene Tennis is up. He's a B bunter, but we're at the bottom of the order, so there's no sense bunting here. They need these hitters to drive in the runs. So Tennis is up, and here he comes. It's a 6-5 against Chandler. 6-5 is a ground ball to shortstop X. That's Phil Rizzuto. So now we have a chance for a possible double play. Here's the result. It's a 12. This may be another error check. Shortstop range for error check is a 12, 8 to 12. So we'll be checking an error on Rizzuto. He has an E36, so this could be back-to-back errors here. It's an E36. Looking at E36, he pretty much has to roll a 9, 10, or an 11. So if he rolls a 9, 10, or 11, then it'll be a double play. If it's anything else, it'll be an error. So he's looking for a 9, 10, or 11. It's a 4, so a 4 falls into the 3 to 8 range, which is an E1. So it's a 1 base error, E1, and that will move the runner up to second and put Tennis at first. So back-to-back errors, 1 by Gordon, 1 by Rizzuto. Not a good way for the Yankees to be starting here, as there is an error. On Rizzuto. Okay, Spud Chandler's defense is letting him down a little bit here with back-to-back errors, and now Darren Johnson's the batter. Johnson's not a very good bunter. He's only a C bunter, so sacrifice is not going to be asked for here. He's just going to swing away. Nobody out and 2 on. It's a 3-7. So that'll be off Darren Johnson's card. And a 3-7, he strikes out. So Darren Johnson strikes out. Spud Chandler says, well, if the defense is going to let me down, I guess I have to strike the guy out myself. And that's what he did. He struck out Darren Johnson for out number 1. Now, Dick Green is an excellent bunter, but there's already 1 out. So even if the sacrifice works, then you're depending on a 2-out single from Bill North. So they're going to let Green swing away here. It's a 2-9 against a righty. 2-9 is a fly ball to center field. So there's 2 down as DiMaggio handles that. So we're still back to a 2-out single being needed by Bill North to score. And the way Alou runs, it might need more than a single. So let's see. Here is North. It's a 5-7. 5-7 against a lefty is a strikeout. So Spud Chandler pitched out of it, striking out Bill North to end the 5th. So after 5 complete, again, nothing has changed. It is still the Yankees 1 and the A's nothing. And Vida Blue thought he might get some run support, but he trots back out to the mound, and he'll have to face Tommy Henrich. Henrich singled his last time up. It's a 3-8. Henrich against a lefty. 3-8 is a potential home run. Potential home run here. 1-15 for a home run. Anything else is a double, so we could have a 2-0 ball game all of a sudden. He needs a 1-15 for a homer. And he gets it. Tommy Henrich leads off the top of the 6th with a home run, and that puts the Yankees in front 2-0. And now Joltin' Joe DiMaggio is up to follow. See if he can do anything. It's a 5-9, so we're under Vida Blue against a righty. Well, there's another chance for a home run. 1-10 for a home run, 11-20 for a double. So this could be back-to-back jacks if the D20 comes out to be a 1 to a 10, between a 1 and a 10. So DiMaggio going for back-to-back jacks. It's a 6, so it is a back-to-back jack. So once again, home run, back-to-back. And Vida Blue, feeling the effects of the 41 Yankees right now, is now 3-0. Those back-to-back home runs. And that'll bring up Charlie Keller, who doubled his last time up. It's a 4-4 against a lefty. 4-4 is a fly ball to center field X. And that's Bill North, who's a number 2 rated center fielder. So we'll see what happens with him. He gets a 12. That may be in the error range. We'll see. Center fielder. Yep, a 9 to 12 puts him in his error range. North is an E11. So we look at the E11 chart. And we see here he basically needs an 8, 9, or a 10, or there's going to be an error. So he needs an 8, 9, or 10. If he doesn't get it, it's an error. And it could be either a 1-base error or a 2-base error, depending on the potential roll here. So he wants an 8, 9, or 10. He got a 7, so he didn't get it. So a 7 on an E11 result is a 2-base error. So it's a 2-base error for Bill North. So things are going from bad to worse for the A's. A 2-base error, E8. And there's still nobody out, by the way. And that'll bring up Joe Gordon. And with that error, the A's now are got some mingling in the bullpen. It looks like a right-hander is loosening up down there. And that appears to be Horacio Pena, I believe. Horacio Pena, the righty, is loosening. And so they're not going to have much of a longer leash with Vida Blue if he keeps going the way he's going. That'll bring up Joe Gordon. It's a 5-8 off of Blue. 5-8, again, is another base hit. This is going to score another run because at minimal, it's going to be a single star. But if he rolls a 1 on the D20, it'll be a triple. Anything else is a star. It's a 19, so it's a single for Joe Gordon. Unearned run coming in to make it a 4-1 ball game. So 3 runs have come in all of a sudden. Still nobody out. And Bill Dickey, the batter. And this is probably Vida Blue's last batter right here, Bill Dickey. Because Pena is just about ready. It's a 2-7, lefty-on-lefty matchup, 2-7. Ground ball, second base, A, so that's going to be a double play. So Vida Blue needed that in the worst way. 4-6-3 double play. And now with 2 outs and bases empty, they may go ahead and let Vida Blue finish the inning out. So Buddy Rozar is your batter with 2 outs and the bases empty. They're going to go ahead and let Vida Blue finish the inning. It's a 4-11 against a right-hander. 4-11 is a single, so maybe they shouldn't have done that. It's a single, and that puts Buddy Rozar at first base with 2 outs. Buddy Rozar. And that brings up the left-hander Johnny Sturm, lefty-on-lefty matchup, although he is 2 for 2. So this is definitely Vida Blue's last batter, one way or the other. It's a 3-10 for Johnny Sturm against the lefty. 3-10's a pop-out to the shortstop Campaneris to end the inning. And that's going to do it for the Yankees here in the 6th, and probably do it for Vida Blue. Pop up there to end the inning, but 3 runs come across, 2 were earned. And we go to the bottom of the 6th with the score now. Yankees 4 and Oakland nothing. Spud Chandler, the beneficiary of these runs, will now face Bert Campaneris to lead things off. And Pena continues to throw in the Oakland bullpen. It is 6-8. 6-8. 6-8's a potential single. 1-16 will be a single for Campaneris as the A's try to get something going here. It's a 9, so he did get a single. So it's a base hit for Campaneris. And that brings up Joe Rudi. Stepping to the plate, Joe Rudi. It's a 1-8 against a right-hander. Joe Rudi strikes out. So Rudi goes down swinging. 1 away. And that will bring up Reggie Jackson. And he has struck out his last time up. So let's see what Jackson can do. It's a 3-8 for Reggie. 3-8 is a fly ball to DiMaggio in center for out number 2. So Spud Chandler rolling along here. Out number 2, and that will bring up Sal Bando, the captain. And that's a 2-11 for Bando. 2-11 is a split chance, a probable base hit. 1 to 18 will be a hit. So unless it's a 19 or 20, he will get a single, and Campaneris will move up 1 base. It is a 13, so it is a base hit, but it was a star behind that base hit, so Campaneris has to stop at second base. So now runners at first and second for Jesus Alou. Jesus Alou stepping to the plate. It's a 6-4 against Chandler. 6-4 is a ground ball to short Rizzuto again. And Rizzuto is a number 2 rated shortstop. And that's an 11, so that's in his error range again. So that's not good news for the Yankees because he has a high error rating. So we're back to an E36. And an E36 basically has to have a 9, 10, or 11, or else it's an error. 9, 10, or 11, or the bases will be loaded. So Rizzuto looking for that 9, 10, or 11. He got a 5, so he didn't get it. So it's an error again on Rizzuto. Error number 2 on Rizzuto. And that will load the bases now with 2 outs. And Gene Tennis, the batter. So this is the A's best chance. Even though there are 2 outs, the bases are loaded. The tying run is at the plate in Gene Tennis. It's a 4-11 against Spud Chandler. That's a ground ball to short. So ground ball to short will end the inning. 6-3 ground out. Actually, it was a fielder's choice technically, but I've already written down 6-3, so I'm not going to change it now. It's kind of irrelevant. So the A's leave the bases loaded, and after 6 complete, it is the Yankees 4 and the A's nothing. And we'll be right back with new pitcher Horacio Pena, and we'll do the totals on Vita Blue when we come back. Okay, we can close the book on Vita Blue. He went 6 innings, gave up 10 hits, 4 runs, 3 were earned. He didn't walk anybody, he did strike out 2, but he gave up those 2 home runs. And now right-hander Horacio Pena will come in to pitch against the top of the order for the Yankees, Rizzuto, Rolfe, and Hendrick. So, righty on righty, Pena against Rizzuto. And we get a 2-2 for Rizzuto against a right-hander. A 2-2 is a foul out to Gene Tennis behind the plate. So that is a foul out by Rizzuto for 1 away. And that brings up third baseman Red Rolfe. It's a 5-3 against Pena. 5-3 is a ground ball pitcher X. So Pena is a number 1 rated pitcher, and he's got an E0 rating. So unless this thing gets a dribbler goes through for a hit, he can't make an error because he's a 0 E rating. But if he can't make an out. He can't reach base because he's a 1 rated pitcher. So anything in this range is a ground out, and he's an E0, so it's all ground out that way. So everything is a ground ball A when Pena is pitching. So it's ground ball A. I don't even have to roll anything. It's an automatic 1-3 ground out for out number 2. So it saves an extra roll that unnecessarily didn't have to be made because everything was ground ball out. So here is Tommy Hendrick. Hendrick, with 2 outs and the bases empty, he started the barrage last inning with a home run off of Vita Blue. Now Hendrick against a right-hander, Pena. 5-8. 5-8 is a ground ball to second base X. That's Dick Green. And Dick Green is a number 2 rated second baseman. So we'll roll the D20 and check Dick Green. That is a 6. So I think he will make the play. Let's double check that. Second base, number 6, is a ground ball A. So he did make the play. Dick Green made the play, and there's 3 up and 3 down as Pena tries to restore a little order in the ball game for the A's. And that'll do it for the Yankees. We've got the 7th inning stretch, and it's the Yankees 4 and the A's nothing. Spud Chandler, his point of weakness will not start potentially until the 8th inning, so he's still going strong. And Darren Johnson will lead things off. He struck out his last time up. He is 1 for 2. It's a 5-8. 5-8. Oh, he'll get a hit this time. 1 to 12 is a double. 13 to 20 is a single. So Johnson's looking for a 1 to 12 to try to get that extra base. And he did not get it. It's a 13, so it's right on the cusp of his single range. So it's a 1 to 13. He got a single. And that's the way the inning starts out in the 7th. Now, Dick Green is the batter. Number 9 hitter. He's not going to bunt when they're down 4-0. But there could be a pinch hitter because Dick Green was a so-so hitter. And they may want to go to a better hitter here. So Dick Williams is looking around the bench to see who they might have as a potential pinch hitter here. And it looks like, well, they've got, I'm not sure if they've got anybody better than Dick Green now that I think about it. Their bench was pretty weak. Let's see, nobody there. I think we're going to have to stick with Dick Green now that I'm looking at everything because all the pinch hitters are not very good. Ray Fosse's 256 hitter, but he's your backup catcher. That's about it. I mean, they're going to stick with Dick Green because Dick Williams looked down his bench and said, you know what? I got no options. So going to have to play it out with Dick Green. So he will step to the plate. And the pitch from Chandler. It's a 2-9. Dick Green, 2-9 is a fly ball to center field. So he flies to DiMaggio. For the 3rd time, he has flown out to center all 3 at-bats. He has flown out to center all 3 at-bats. That brings up Bill North. And he has struck out his last 2 times up. It's a 1-4 against a righty. 1-4, he struck out again. That's the hat trick. 3 times for Bill North. So he is out of there. 2 down. And now it's going to be up to Campaneris with Johnson at first base. It is a 3-5 for Campaneris. And that's another, he's rolled that before. He's got a 1 to 16 chance for a single. It's only 1 star, so even if he does get the hit, Johnson will only go to second base. And there's the roll. It's a 1. He did get the base hit. So Campaneris with his second hit, he's also walked. So he's reached base 3 times today. Darren Johnson will have to stop at second base. Runners at first and second with 2 outs for Joe Rudy. Joe Rudy, he's 0 for 3, so he's due. It's a 3-7 for Joe Rudy. Joe Rudy, 3-7. He pops it up to Rizzuto. So the inning is over as he fails in the clutch. So Joe Rudy pops it up to Rizzuto. We've played 7. Score remains Yankees 4 and Oakland nothing. And Jolton Joe DiMaggio steps to the plate. Now with some lefties coming up behind DiMaggio, the Oakland bullpen is again loosening. And it's going to be a left-hander this time. They're going to have left-hander loosening in the bullpen. And that would be lefty Paul Lindblad. So Paul Lindblad is loosening in the bullpen for the A's. And I think he's going to come in to face Charlie Keller next. So this is going to be the last batter that Pena will face. DiMaggio, 1-8. 1-8 is a base hit for DiMaggio. 1-8 is a single. So DiMaggio with a leadoff single, and that's going to do it for Pena. He will leave, and Paul Lindblad, the lefty, will come on to face Charlie Keller. So Paul Lindblad against Charlie Keller. Cannot close the book on Pena because he is responsible for DiMaggio. So he could give up a run. We'll have to wait and see. But now with Charlie Keller coming up, we have Paul Lindblad, lefty on lefty matchup. It's a 6-5. 6-5 against a lefty. Potential home run, 1 to 9 for a homer. 10 to 20 is a double. So let's see what happens here. 10 to 20 is a double. Anything else is a home run. It's a 6, so it's Charlie Keller going deep. That's the 3rd Yankee home run of the day. And this is a 2-run shot. One of those runs charged to Pena. So Lindblad greeted rudely by Charlie Keller. And now the score is 6-0 Yankees. And that'll bring up Joe Gordon. It's a 5-7 against a right-hander. 5-7 is a ground ball to Dick Green at second, but there is an X. So we're going to check his defense. He is a number 2 rated defense. It's an 11, which puts him in the error range. And his error range is the E11. So we're going to check E11 here for a second baseman. E11, he needs a 6 through 12 to make the play. Anything 6 or above, he'll make the play. It's a 7, so he made the play. It's a ground ball A, but nobody's on base to worry about it. It's just simply a 4-3 ground out for out number 1. And now that will bring up Bill Dickey. Another lefty. Lefty on lefty matchup. Bill Dickey. Dickey steps up. And the pitch is a 5-7. So we check Lindblad against the lefty. 5-7 is a ground ball to second base. Dick Green has another chance. Another error or range check on Dick Green. It's a 3. It's a 3. And he's a number 2 rated second baseman, so he barely made the play. Ground ball A. So he made the play for out number 2. And that brings up the designated hitter, Buddy Rosar. It's a 3-7 for Rosar against a lefty. 3-7, that's a split chance. 1-13 is a single. Anything else is a line out to Campaneris. So Oakland is hoping for 14 through 20. Yankees hoping through a 1 through 13. It's a 19, so Campaneris snared it, and that will retire the side. But the Yankees put up 2 more thanks to the 2-run homer by Charlie Keller. And we go to the bottom of the 8th with the score. Yankees in control, 6-0. Spud Chandler, as I said earlier, his point of reduction rating starts in inning number 8. But it won't start until he has a combination of 3 hits allowed, or a combination of 3 in the hits allowed or unintentional walk category. So he has to give up some things before they can start. In the bullpen is Johnny Murphy, just in case, for the Yankees. So Johnny Murphy is loosening. And Reggie Jackson will start things off. He's 0 for 3 against Chandler. 2-10. 2-10 is a home run. Reggie Jackson finally breaks up the shutout with a 2-run with a home run off his 2-10 result. The diamond there is a ballpark effect, but we're not using that. So it's a Reggie Jackson home run to break up the shutout, so at least the A's won't be blanked. It's a home run for Reggie. No one on base for the A's to benefit from that, other than the 1 run they get. So it is now a 6-1 game. And that home run definitely adds toward the pitcher reduction on Chandler. So here is Sal Bando. See if he can follow up. 4-4. 4-4 is a fly ball to center field X. That's DiMaggio. So that's probably going to be an out. DiMaggio is a 1-rated center fielder. Oops, that's a 1. Came up as a 1. But I think a 1-rated center fielder will make that play. He does. 1-rated center fielder makes everything. It's not an error. So that's going to be a catch for DiMaggio. Apologize for that D20 rolling away like that. But it was a 1. Trust me, it was a 1. Here is Jesus Alou. He has reached on errors the last 2 times to the plate. This is a 3-8 against a righty. 3-8 is a ground ball shortstop A. So there's 2 outs very quickly. 6-3 ground out for out number 2, and that brings up catcher Gene Tennis. Gene Tennis. It is a 2-10. 2-10 for Tennis is a ground ball to third. So Tennis grounds to Red Rolfe, and the inning is over. But the A's do finally get on the board, get off the schneid, but it may be too little too late. We've completed 8. The score is Yankees 6, A's 1. All right, new pitcher for the A's here in the 9th, and it's going to be Raleigh Fingers. They may as well use him. There's no sense saving him. There's no save situation to worry about. So most likely this is their last inning of the tournament, so you might as well go out with your best. And so Raleigh Fingers, if I can get him out here, Raleigh Fingers will be coming on to pitch here. And he'll be facing the bottom of the order, Johnny Sturm, and then the top of the order, Phil Rizzuto and Red Rolfe. So right now we have Johnny Sturm facing Raleigh Fingers. And we close the book on Lindblad. And probably a good thing if you're the A's that you close that book, because Lindblad gave up the home run. And let's see what else did he do. That was the only hit he gave up. Didn't walk anybody, didn't strike anybody out. So Raleigh Fingers is on now to face Johnny Sturm. Here's the pitch. It's a 2-12. 2-12 for Sturm against a right-hander is a ground ball to third base. So Sturm grounds out to Sal Bando for out number 1 here in the 9th. And we go to the top of the order and Phil Rizzuto. Rizzuto is 1 for 4. It's a 5-6 for Rizzuto off of Fingers. 5-6 is a strikeout. So Rizzuto strikes out for out number 2. And that will bring up Red Rolfe. And that's a 3-5 for Red Rolfe. And that's a ground ball to first baseman Darren Johnson to end the inning. So Raleigh Fingers pitches an uneventful top of the 9th to at least keep things from getting worse. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. The score, Yankees 6, Oakland 1. And we've got a new pitcher for the Yankees, and we'll be right back to wrap up the line on Chandler. Okay, probably going to close the line on Fingers. 1 inning pitch, nothing to cross, 1 strikeout. For Spud Chandler, he went 8 innings, gave up 8 hits, 1 run. That was the home run by Reggie last inning. Walked 1, struck out 6. And now to close things out for the Yankees is Johnny Murphy. He was their closer in that year, 15 saves. 8-3 with a 1.99 ERA. And he'll be facing the bottom of the order for the A's, and that will be Gene Tennis, Darren Johnson, and Dick Green. And like I said, I don't think they have anybody on the bench that's worthy of pinch hitting. So we're going to be stuck with that. If you're the A's, you're stuck. So here's Gene Tennis against Johnny Murphy. It's a 1-8, so we are under Tennis. But 1-8, after all those hits in the column 1, he found the line out to third baseman Red Rolfe. So there's 1 away for Rolfe. Actually, that was Tennis was the 3rd out last inning. So this is actually Darren Johnson leading off. My bad. Darren Johnson's the leadoff hitter in this inning. Glad I caught that. Not that it really matters. 1-8. 1-8 is a single. So we don't make it official here. It is a single for Darren Johnson. And I'm going to go back and do the score sheet at the end of the video because I did not write down Tennis's out in the bottom of the 8th. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head. I know Jackson homered to lead off, and then Bando and Alou made the 2 outs here. But I didn't write the 3rd out, and that's why I thought Tennis was going to lead off. Good thing I keep score. But Johnson leads off the 9th. I will go ahead and fill this in for Tennis when the game is over, and I go back and watch the video and find out what he really did. Okay, here's Dick Green with Johnson at first. Green is a 6-9 against Spud Chandler. 6-9 is a ground ball shortstop X. This could either be a double play or it could be Phil Rizzuto's 3rd error. We'll wait and see. Here's the D20 result. It's an 8, so it's another error check on Rizzuto. So most likely a 3rd error on Phil Rizzuto, which would really be strange because he's an E36. He is an E36, not making it up. He is an E36. As we look at his card, he's a 2 with an E36. So E36 for a shortstop has to have a 9, 10, or 11, or there will be an error. Or he could roll a 2 with a 6 as a white die and get a ground ball A that way, but most likely it's 9, 10, or 11. And that's the difference between a double play or an error. So he needs a 9, 10, or 11 to get that play. It's a 9. He got it. So it's a 9 which means Phil Rizzuto said, I'm not making a third error. Instead, it's a 6-4-3 double play. And any thoughts the A's may have had of coming back, it just got squashed by that double play. And that'll bring up Bill North, who has struck out his last 3 times. He's going for the golden sombrero now against Johnny Murphy, but at least he's not facing Spud Chandler anymore. It's a 2-7. 2-7 for North. There's a ground ball back to Murphy, the pitcher, and the ball game is over. So the 41 Yankees continue their dominance as they dispatch the 73 A's. The A's did get 1 hit in the 9th, but that was it. And that's going to do it here. And we'll be back with the totals and who the 41 Yankees will be playing in the Elite Eight. I'll be right back to wrap this thing up. Okay, let's wrap up this ball game here. Final line score, Yankees 6 runs, 12 hits, and 3 errors, surprisingly. They left 5 runners on base. The A's 1 run, 9 hits, 1 error, and they left 9 on base. So some missed opportunities there for the A's. And the winning pitcher was Spud Chandler, going those 8 innings. Losing pitcher was Vida Blue, and of course there was no save because it was a 5-run lead. So that's going to do it from here as the 41 Yankees move on, and they joined the 77 Yankees as the only 2 Yankees teams still in it. The other 3 teams all were eliminated, and that's going to make things interesting. And I'm going to get my bracket out real quick. I forgot to do that, and let you know who they're going to play in the Elite Eight. Okay, so looking at our bracket now, it's going to be the Battle of New York. It's the 77 Yankees will be facing the 41 Yankees. So after the Elite Eight, only one Yankee team will make it to the Final Four, but at least one Yankee team is guaranteed to make the Final Four. Our other brackets, we've got the Phillies advancing to play the 83 Orioles, and we have the 69 Orioles will be playing the winner of the final game of the Sweet 16, the 88 Dodgers and the 69 Mets. So it could be a rematch of the 69 World Series if the Mets beat the Dodgers. And then we have the Orioles of 83 against the Phillies of 93. And I have not played yet the computer versions PC bracket yet. That's yet to be played as well. Boston, Oakland, and Mets, Baltimore. So we're winding down. It's already, I think today is May the 18th, if I'm not mistaken. So trying to get these things going here. I'm not sure when this is going to post on YouTube, but this is the evening of the 18th, Wednesday the 18th. So one more game to play on the cards and dice version, and that is going to be the next video, which is the 88 Dodgers and the 69 Mets for the right to play the 69 Orioles. So hope everybody has a wonderful day, and hope everybody enjoyed this Sweet 16 game. Too bad it could have been a little bit closer, but that's the way they go sometimes. And I'll catch everybody later.